Greetings, art lovers, and welcome to the Rockport Art Association and Museum for this supplemental sneak peek at a particularly rare and uncommon work being offered in our upcoming art auction on Saturday, October 3rd. Each year, this prestigious event draws in both serious and novice collectors from across the country, and true to the claim that there is indeed something for everyone, today's featured piece bridges the two worlds of painting and sculpture, paying homage to not one, but two of Cape Ann's finest artists. My name is Jim Craig, Executive Director of the Rockport Art Association and Museum. The subject of today's sneak peek is one that is especially dear to my heart. In 2006, I had the great fortune to publish a biography on this artist. It was the first definitive biography to appear on this great Cape Ann painter in over 30 years, and it succeeded in laying to rest many an erroneous tale and rumor regarding their life and art, as well as being the first commercial publication to break the news that we'd been calling this artist by the wrong name for over 7 decades. The artist I am speaking of is, of course, Fitzhenry Lane. Born in the famed fishing port of Gloucester, Massachusetts on December 19, 1804, Lane would be exposed to the sea and maritime life from the time of his birth, a factor that obviously had a great impact on his later choice of subject matter. It is often speculated that Lane would most likely have pursued a career related to seafaring had it not been for a lifelong handicap he developed as a child, most likely from the ingestion of Jimson weed at the tender age of 18 months. Denied full use of his legs and unable to play the games of other children, he was forced to find other means of amusement, which ultimately led him to develop his talent for drawing. From 1832 to 1847, Lane would find employment in Boston, Massachusetts, as a lithographer at the pioneering shop of William S. Pendleton, and it was during this time that he would gain the training necessary to pursue a career as a fine artist. Declaring himself a marine painter in 1840, Lane would embark upon a prodigious career in the fine arts, producing ship portraits for leading merchants of Boston and New York, as well as his famously stunning harbor portraits, often featuring skies drenched in roseate, luminous hues. Praised for crafting photographically precise depictions of this subject matter, Lane's career would ultimately take him as far north as Maine's Penobscot Bay region and as far south as San Juan, Puerto Rico, in the pursuit of his calling. His work would popularize the Cape Ann region, drawing the interest of succeeding generations of artists right up to the present day, and rightfully earning him a place as one of America's all-time greatest maritime artists. While Fitzhenry Lane was an artist like no other, the piece we are offering in this year's auction is a sculpture like no other. Poised with sketchbook in hand, Lane stares intently out to sea, trying to capture for posterity a fleeting glimpse of the 19th century maritime world he loved so well. He leans into the wind as it whips and tears at him. Beside him lie a pair of crutches, a mute testimony to the adversities he faced plying his trade, while still coping with his childhood loss of mobility. To many, this heroic sculpture may look familiar, and it should, for this piece is a model for the slightly larger-than-life bronze casting of Lane that can be found today on the grounds of the Fitzhenry Lane House along the Gloucester waterfront. Created by the celebrated sculptor Alfred M. Duca, this bronze sculpture was number 7 of only 25 renditions he ever made of his famous casting. The edition number and Duca's signature can be seen ingeniously inscribed on the inside of Lane's sketchpad, while Duca's thumbprint can also be found there, a trait that was only included on the first 12 renditions. Cast in 1996, this piece was one of Duca's last artistic creations, with the artist passing on less than a year later, in 1997. Alfred M. Duca himself was a native of Milton, Massachusetts, who studied at New York's Pratt Institute and the Boston Museum School in the late 1930s and early 1940s. Duca's artistic career expanded quickly, earning him a solid reputation as a painter, sculptor, and inventor, particularly through his work under the Ford Foundation and Rockefeller Foundation grants at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where he developed modern technical advances in the casting of metal sculpture. Duca concentrated mainly on sculpture and was commissioned to produce several major pieces in Boston, including the Boston Tapestry at the Prudential Center, the Computer Sphere at the JFK Post Office Building, and the Massachusetts Artifact at the John McCormick State Office Building. attaining in his lifetime the recognition most artists can only dream of achieving in death. Duca would be presented with a Lifetime Achievement Award by Governor Michael Dukakis in 1993, and Boston Mayor Raymond Flynn issued a proclamation honoring Duca's artistic achievements and declared May 12th as Alfred Duca Day. His work can be found in the permanent collection of several fine art institutions, including the Worcester Art Museum, the Addison Gallery of American Art in Andover, and the Fogg Museum at Harvard University. Thank you for joining me for this supplemental sneak peek. It's been a true pleasure sharing with you this bit of history so near and dear not only to my heart, but to the very foundation of the fine arts here on Cape Ann. We look forward to hosting your bids on Saturday, October 3rd for this and so many other wonderful works of art we'll be featuring in